What's up, guys? If you're watching this pre-recorded video, stick around with us for maybe about 15-20 minutes. We'll be on here doing a Q&A. The first live video that we posted, actually, the connection was acting up. So the first live video that we ended up posting, we had to take down. So this is technically part two, but this is the meat and the bones of the live stream anyways, because we're going to be doing a Q&A. And the first live, we did a giveaway for our pre-recorded freight dis I mean, I'm sorry, we did a giveaway for our carrier acquisition training program. It's a pre-recorded training. It has 5 module videos breaking down some of the different strategies on how you can market your freight dispatch company in a way that would attract carrier leads. If you're a freight dispatcher who's already dispatching, or you're an aspiring freight dispatcher and you're stuck at the area or the part of your journey as a freight dispatcher and getting carriers, this training is going to be perfect for you. We gave a giveaway out already, but we are doing a sale also. We're doing a disc. We have a discount code that you can use to get a 25% off sale on our carrier acquisition training. And I'm actually going to show you guys a quick demonstration on my phone. Guys, if you can hear me clearly and everything's all good, please put it in the chat. I want to make sure that this live is actually good. If you guys can hear me, please put it in the chat. Sabrina, if you're here in this video, I did get your email, so I'll go ahead and respond to that shortly. So if you can hear me, let me know, please. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from also. If you just joined this live and you weren't on the last one that we were just on, please let me know. Um, all right, Sabrina can hear me, Elizabeth can hear me. Miss C says hi, just logged on. Lifeline Dispatch can hear me. All right, so am I lagging like last time? I'm not lagging, right? So we're good. We're good to go. Please do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button. I'm gonna actually post this live video up. I'm gonna leave it up for maybe a few days. So go ahead and like that, hit that like button so that this, it can reach more people. And we're gonna get right into the Q&A. We did just do the giveaway. Congratulations, Sabrina, again for that. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it helps you out. And I'll send that to you after we get off this live. Hopefully, we're not lagged again. Seems like everybody can hear me. Cool. All right. So guys, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna quickly just go back over what I was just talking about, because just picking back up, and then there's probably some more people on here. Miss C says, "Are you just starting?" No, this is actually part two of the live that we already did. So we went live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it was acting up. It was buffering a lot, lagging. So we ended up switching it over. I switched it over to my laptop. So we're gonna stay on here for the next 15 minutes or so. So here's what I'm gonna do, guys. Look, to access the discount code. So in the first live that we did, if you're just watching this, we gave away a free one of our trainings. It's a pre-recorded training. It's called the Carrier Acquisition Training. This training is specifically designed to help you boost carrier leads. Maybe you're a freight dispatcher or you're an aspiring freight dispatcher and you're struggling at this part of your journey. You can't get carriers for the life of you. You don't know how to do it, where to start. We talk about some of the practical ways, and then we get in more depth. We talk about SEO, Google Ads, how to optimize your website. We talk about Instagram ads, how to pitch a good ad, the strategies, scripts, even some other ways that you could do it. I mean, it's really good, guys. 5 module videos, close to 3 hours worth of information, and all that good stuff. So we have that as a part of the training. Um, right now it's going for 169.99, but if you purchase the pre-recorded freight dispatch course, there's an upsell, so you'll be able to get it. Um, you'll be able to get it, the carrier acquisition training. If you purchase the freight dispatch course, you'll get it for $40 less if you purchase it as a bundle. Let me see if I can actually share my screen I don't know if YouTube gives you that option. It looks like it doesn't. That's fine. I'll show you guys on my phone. So here's how you access it if you want to know. All right. So you see my phone right here. I'll put the link in the video in the description under this video. But what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to obviously click on your search bar. You're gonna want to go to Covenant. I don't know if you can see the link, but like I said, I'll put it in the description under this video. I don't know why my camera's acting stupid. My camera's acting dumb. There's no use of trying to show you on my phone. That's fine. Let me try to show you a little something though. So here's our store page. We got our carrier acquisition training, freight dispatch course, and we got our startup kit. So we're running a sale right now because for people who got on here and didn't win the carrier acquisition training, but Sabrina did win it, so obviously it wouldn't be her. Our independent freight dispatcher course right now is going for on sale for 25% off. So um, if you were to go here, scroll to the bottom, and add this to your cart, it's going to give you an option as an upsell to add the carrier acquisition training, which is originally priced at 169.99. But if you purchase it with the freight dispatch course, you get it for 132.59. If you don't want it, you can just hit no thanks at the bottom. If you just want the course exclusively, and then of course you have to go to checkout, which is right here. You click on checkout, which guys, my phone's probably blurry, but you guys can figure it out when you get on your phone. And then if you see right here, it gives me an option to put a discount code. And in that discount code, I'm going to want to put 25 sale. I'm going to put 25 sale to access the 25% off discount. If I continue, it's going to have me put my email, but you guys can see where it adds the discount. Oh, I have to apply. Sorry. Hit apply. And then you see the difference, right? So it brings it down to 202.49. All right. And it works the same way for the carrier acquisition training. There you go. Just wanted to break that down for you guys to see. I know my phone's a little bit blurry, but that's okay. All right. Miss C says, I'm an aspiring freight dispatcher. So what is the package and the price? Hopefully I just explained it right there on my phone. Guys, let's get right into the Q&A. Let me put the sale in here. By the way, that sale is going to end tomorrow. So I'll leave it up for 24 hours. I do that every time I come on here and do a Q&A, or if I come on here and do a giveaway, I always put a sale for other people just to make it fair. So shoot some questions at me. Let's spend about a good 10 to 15 minutes doing questions, and then we'll wrap up this live. And I'll leave it up for you guys to come back in and join it. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Also, we got 16 people on here. Share this video with somebody else. If you haven't done it already, please guys hit that like button. Hit that like button. So we got 5 likes, but we have 16 people. So please hit that like button so that this video can reach more people. And ask away. Ask some questions. Some of you guys might have questions regarding freight dispatching, maybe just the trucking altogether, maybe box trucking. Let me know. Of course, if you guys don't have questions, then we could just I could just end this video. But the reason why we originally I wanted to go live was to do the Q&A, to do the giveaway, to give somebody the course, which again Sabrina won that. So I'm gonna go ahead and send that to her when I get done. And also to talk about some of the different trainings that we have to offer, which I didn't talk about our mentorship, guys. So we do offer a 1-month mentorship. Now the link for that is not going to be public on our store page. It's actually hidden. We don't just allow anybody into that program. So you have to actually book what's called a roadmap call with us. On that roadmap call, we ask you a series of questions. We break down some of the different things we're going to be talking about in the mentorship, and we see if you're even going to be a good fit. Because I don't want to just have any old person join the program and just drive me crazy. There has to be realistic people that are willing to invest in their business. And I'm not talking about like $10,000, $20,000 I'm talking about just like generally, Maybe run like a few dollars on their ads or anything. People want to be entrepreneurs, but then they want to be super cheap at the same time. And it's like, it just doesn't work like that. You have to invest in your business. Now, the good thing about freight dispatching is you don't have to, it's not like you're investing an arm and a leg, but you have to invest. You have to learn the industry. So that might take a course. You might have to get the equipment if you don't have it. That might be some money right there, but nothing, everything, everything, you can get everything you need depending on the kind of person you are. You can get everything you need under 1,200, and I'm talking about that includes everything that you need, every equipment that you need. Actually, under 1,000, you can get everything that you need easily, easily. So, guys, let me know what kind of questions you have. Let's jump into that. Hit that like button if you're just joining us and you didn't hit that like button. We're gonna be doing some Q&A here. All right, so we got some questions going in. Miss C says, so to get started, I would need both. Uh, you don't need both, and that's just me being transparent. You don't need both. If you don't know anything about the industry, certainly you're going to need the pre-recorded freight dispatch course to learn. But if you don't already have marketing strategies that you're ready to utilize, and they're good marketing strategies, then I recommend just getting the bundle package with the carrier acquisition training. And the reason being is because you're going to be ready to then effectively market once you're ready to launch your company. And if you're not ready to market, you're going to be like not everybody else, but you're going to be like most people who are like, man, I can't find carriers, which it goes hand in hand. Because here's the thing too, like you can market your company in such a way that you get let's say 100 leads a month, but if you don't have a good offer, then it really doesn't matter, because all of those people that you get on the phone, or maybe they contact you, email you, call you, once they realize what you have to offer and they realize it's garbage, then they're not going to sign on with you. So we also talk about that briefly in the carrier acquisition, but more extensively in the mentorship. Guys, also, if you have any questions about the trainings we have to offer and anything like that, let me know. I don't want to just be talking about the trainings. I want to open it up to ask anything. Uh, because I don't want you guys to be like, "Oh, he just went on live just to talk about his trainings." I gave one away, so I'm not. That's not what I'm fixed on. Do you have paperwork, packages, or anything that can help with organization? What exactly do you mean by? Because I think I could answer. I think I know what you're kind of saying, lifeline, but be if you could please be more a little bit more specific. Um, Sabrina says I should wait and take the training, but is it even worth it to still cold call carriers out of the blue and hope for the best? Or are there newer ways that make the process more effective? No, yeah, you can definitely cold call. Cold calling, email blasts, text message blasts. Those are all great practical ways to we talk about that a little bit. But if you want to get a little bit more in detail, we talk about how to run ads like video ads, flyer ads, carousel ads on Instagram, Facebook, and we also talk about uh, ways to optimize your website, because that's also key. And so yeah. So Kim Allen says, I applied all avenues, business cards, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, still no carrier. So let me ask you, Kim, have based upon the strategies that you've used to market, have you so you're saying you had not one lead at all, is what you're saying? And then secondly, if you could tell me how you're running ads on TikTok and Instagram. That might be the key right there, is how you're running ads and what kind of ads you're running, what kind of script you're using, how you're targeting the ads on Facebook and Instagram. That plays a key part too. If you're just joining this live, guys, we're going to be doing a brief Q&A. So get on here with us, ask questions. I'm gonna leave this video up for you guys to come look at later. This is technically part two of the whole live, because we did a live earlier, but it didn't go. The connection was messed up. All right. Lifeline Dispatch says carrier dispatch agreements and something to keep track of, driver weekly routes and pay. Oh, okay, yeah. So we have a template in our pre-recorded course, and even in our startup kit, we have multiple templates. One of the templates is called a brokerless template. It's like an Excel format. Basically, it allows you to put any broker that you reached out with, spoke with, you liked the conversation that you had with them, and whether it be like a good load that was done through them or just the conversation, you like the conversation, you can put their information down on this spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet is called the broker list spreadsheet template, and you can put their name, additional comments, their email, their phone number. It's very basic. Then we also have what's called a weekly report template. That's a part of the pre-recorded course. And in the weekly report, you're able to put the origin, the destination, the broker that you dealt with, the PO number, the load ID number, the rate per mile, year to date gross that they made and stuff like that. So that's also a part. And then we also have an agreement form template. So the agreement form, or some of the people might call it the carrier packet or the dispatcher carrier packet. You might have heard it been said like that, is basically the form that you're going to need for the carrier to sign. That way you run and operate legitimately. So what makes an independent freight dispatcher legitimate is them having an ongoing agreement. Now, this is per the FMCSA. This is according to their regulations. You have to have an ongoing agreement with the carrier, and it has to be in an agreement form technically, because a carrier can either hire an employee or work with an independent contractor. So an independent dispatcher would technically be like a third party company, independent contractor. Their problem is they don't like when people when dispatchers try to find a load for a dispatcher, but there's no ongoing agreement. It's just like all over the place. So that's what technically makes it illegal, because once you have that ongoing agreement, you're defined as what's called a bona fide agent. And a bona fide agent is able to operate at the same capacity, essentially in the same capacity, but not fully, as a freight broker without having to be licensed. The main difference between an independent freight dispatcher and a freight broker is freight brokers are allowed to do what's called the term is called allocating traffic. So essentially, what that means is a freight broker is allowed to negotiate loads and freight with shippers, and then take those loads and solicit those loads to more than one carrier. Right? They're allowed to, without even having an agreement. They're allowed to just say, "Hey, we got this available." They can post it on a load board, talk with multiple carriers. Now, a dispatcher can't do that. It's called allocating traffic. So yeah. So, anyways, Lifeline. Yeah, we do have multiple templates that we have as a part of our course, and we also have it in a startup kit, which is a more cost-effective training, but it doesn't have any module-style videos. Shoot some questions at me, guys. Let me know. Let me know where you guys are at. Kim, let me know also. Let me know how you're running them ads, or maybe if you want to follow up with an email afterwards. More than likely, that's what it has to do with, I'm assuming. All right, Sabrina says, as a new dispatcher with no experience, I've heard that 7% is a good starting rate. But at what point do you raise that rate and get any carriers you have acquired to agree to it? Yeah, so that's good. 7% is actually, I would say anything right now to, personally, I would say anywhere from 7% isn't bad, but it really depends on what you offer, like the quality of what you offer. But I'd say you can't go wrong going anywhere from 4 to 6%. Now, some of you might say, "Oh, 4%, that's extremely cheap." But you gotta understand, like, especially with spot rates right now in the current spot in the current market, you also wanna be reasonable. You don't wanna, like, you know, you wanna be competitive, first of all, and you also wanna be reasonable. So anywhere from 4 to 6. 5 is perfect. We have There's a guy, his name's Brian. He helps out with the mentorship. I believe he charges 5, either 4 or 5. But his drivers are making about 1,800 a day. But that he landed a really good route with a company he used to, I think, work for. And maybe Brian might be on here. Let me know if you're on here, Brian. But if you figure 5% is still good, it's still a good amount. But anyways, so could you charge 7? Yeah, you could, if you, like, let's say there's an extensive amount of services that you offer, which just to elaborate on that, as an independent freight dispatcher, you operate, as I always say this, some of you guys may say, "Oh yeah, I heard you say this before." You operate as an administrative rep. You represent that carrier, basically. Any back office work that a typical trucking company would be responsible to do, fine find that gray area that they could outsource for you to do and offer it as a service. For example, let's say a carrier has 3 drivers and they're over the road. So each driver is going to have what's called an ELD. It's smart for the trucking company owner to run audits on their logs every week, but they might not have a lot of time to do that. They might not have a lot of time on their hands to do that. So you could offer audit logs. I mean, logbook audits. You can say, hey, let me access your account as an admin. I'll go in there and I'll audit it. Anything I see that's out of whack, out of order, any violations, I'll, either snapshot it, download the PDF or whatever, and send you the form. Now, you might say, well, why wouldn't they just do it themselves? Sometimes trucking company owners are busy doing other things. And if they can trust you with everything, or at least essentially almost everything, then you become more valuable. And so it makes sense to maybe charge a little bit more. So to answer the second part of your question, let's say you already have carriers, how do you adjust the price? In the agreement form, which we have a template, is a template. You can add any kind of caveats you want to in that agreement form. Or if you want to be very specific, you can speak with an attorney and consult with an attorney who has a background in trucking and say, hey, this is how I want to operate my company. So one of the caveats could be, we charge this amount, but that that amount is subject to change due to economical conditions or whatever, so then that would be able to, it gives you that clause to be able to do that, if that makes sense. Kim says, that may be it. I will change how advertise. I just ask if anyone is looking for a dispatcher and leave my forwarding information. Awesome. Yeah. So what I would do, so Kim, how you can elaborate on that? One of the things we talk about in the carrier acquisition training is what's called the who, what, how strategy. So the statistically, right? Let's just go by statistics. The way humans operate is we operate so much on emotion. Like for example, you could go to an ice cream shop, right? And they have the best ice cream, but the presentation and the appearance isn't that good. You're automatically going to judge the taste of the ice cream based upon the appearance. That's emotion, right? Versus going to another ice cream shop that looks really well, and they put the ice cream, they design it, they do all this stuff, put chocolate syrup, all this crazy stuff, but the ice cream quality sucks. You're going to be focused so much on the appearance because emotionally you're attached to that, right? Same thing with restaurants. So when it comes to services, right, people, I think, and quote me if I'm wrong. I mean, don't quote me because I could be wrong a couple of percentage points, but I believe it's 85% of people make before they make a purchase online, they first of all they go to your page, which by the way, guys, in like 40 seconds, there's probably going to be a quick ad that's going to run. That's just a part of, you could skip it. That's just a part of, when I go live on here. But anyways, to wrap it up, 85% of people essentially they make an emotional decision before they make a purchase on a product. So you want to paint the picture and even exaggerate and not lie. Of course, you don't want to lie, but you want to be like elaborate. So the who, what, how strategy. Who are you targeting? So when you're speaking to the viewer, whether it be uh, a video ad or even like just a regular flyer, you want to be very specific in who you're talking to. You're talking to the owner operator, you're talking to the fleet owner, you're talking to the stressed out trucking company manager or whatever, as long as they own their company. Hold on, this ad might run really quick. Just skip it if it comes up. Is it showing you guys an ad? If it is, I just want to wait till it goes past because it said that it was on my end. Is it showing you guys an ad? We still on? Let me actually stand up here before we wrap up. Okay, no ad. Cool. So yeah, Kim. So yeah, you wanna follow what's called the who, what, how strategy, and basically what that is the who is the person, the niche, the market, the person you're attracting. The what is what are their pain points, right? What how can you help? Well, now how is the third part, but what are their pain points? And then thirdly is how. How can you what systems do you have in place? What services do you offer? How can you help their pain points? Right? So those are very like specifically um made these are specific ads. They're very specific. They're targeting. And then of course when you run the ad, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, you have to target that audience too. Like you have to, that I wish I could show you guys my screen to show you how to do it. But again, those are things that we talk about on the acquisition training. That's not a sales pitch. I'm just being honest. That's what we talk about. So Sabrina, Lifeline Dispatch says, okay, thank you. Sabrina says, trucking is by the way, if you're just jumping into this live, let me put it here. We're doing a 25% sale. The discount code is 25 sale. I just put it in the chat. We're doing a 25% off sale on our pre-recorded freight dispatch course and or our carrier acquisition training. All you have to do is go to the link that we're going to provide in this video. And honestly, the link is under all of my videos on YouTube and it's pinned to every single comment section. But I'll put it in this description under this video also, and I'll leave the discount up for 24 hours. So I'll leave it up till tomorrow. For those of you who might have came to try to win the course on the giveaway and it just you didn't win. So I put that in the chat. That's just updating those who might just be jumping into this live. So to answer Sabrina's question here, trucking is $1 trillion industry and it's a great time to jump in. The industry is getting tighter and the market is becoming saturated. I've heard both statements, which is true. There's a guy on Instagram I want you to follow. I believe his name's Trendsetter. But he's awesome. He breaks it down in a way that I could tell you, you know, I could simplify it, but he has a way of articulating it. Let me try to find him really quick. But I recommend you guys follow him because he explains it better. His name's Transportation Trendsetter. His name's Adam Spawnbauer, if I'm saying that right. But guy's a genius. And so he explains it better. But let me give you my take on it. So right now they're predicting. So there's a guy by the name of Craig Fuller who is the CEO of FreightWaves. FreightWaves is a reputable company operating. Um, it's a news source for trucking company for people in the trucking market to kind of see what's going on in the trucking market. They're probably the top notch company right now that reports trucking news. If not, definitely top five, top three. Miss Lane 86. His Instagram name is Transportation Trendsetter. No spaces, no underscores, just all out one word. Transportation Trendsetter. His name is Adam Spawnbauer, but you're gonna find him by putting in Transportation Trendsetter. So he's on Instagram. He breaks it down a lot more easier, or he breaks down the numbers and everything. But again, taking from in my opinion, the trucking industry right now, spot market rates. So the trucking industry is split up into two different markets. There's contracted freight and then there's spot market freight. For the most part, dispatchers fall in that spot market rate, category because we're the ones that are usually on the lower board. So spot market freight is essentially it's like expedited freight. So freight that either is a surplus of a contract between a carrier or a broker and a shipper, or expedited freight that needs to be shipped the next day or the next 2 days, and stuff like that. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so spot market and contract freight. So right now we're seeing and again in Transportation Trendsetter he breaks it down a little bit better. But of course we're seeing a dip in both. And then right now we're also in what's called bidding season. So the contracts that are being bidded for right now obviously are gonna reflect what the spot market is doing now. But the spot market is more volatile, so it fluctuates because it's not, a contract. If we put a contract out for 2 years, a year, it's gonna remain that same no matter what's going on. But spot market rates fluctuate according to the economy, according to what's going on, demand and supply and demand and stuff like that. But the thing is this, right? and I don't know if it was Transportation Trendsetter that said it or if it was Craig Fuller who said it, but the only way from down is up, right? The trucking market always sees its dips, it always sees its highs and its lows. Um, but the only way from down is up. Logistics isn't going anywhere. We're constantly going to need freight that needs to be moved. And then one of the things they also point out too is there used to be, I believe it was around 100, somewhere around there, new trucking companies that would enter into the market each week, and now it's going up to like I think it's like 1,100 new trucking companies that are starting to enter into the market now each week. And then I think I don't want to butcher these numbers. Just follow Transportation Trendsetter. He could break it down a little bit better. But my personal opinion on the market, the only way from down is up. We always go through these seasons in the trucking industry. It's just now this is pretty rough compared to other seasons just because of the uncertainty and of what's going on and stuff like that with the economy. But there's still money to be made. Like I said, we have a guy named Brian, um, who took our course last year. Some of you guys probably saw his testimonial on my YouTube channel. And Brian, he's making his drivers like 1,800 a day, more or less, hauling. I forgot what it was that they're hauling, but in this market, if you look at one of the articles FreightWaves puts out, they talk about a company called ABF Freight. And I don't know if you guys heard about what happened to Yellow Trucking. They were a multi-billion, or I don't know if they were multi-billion, but they were definitely billionaire status trucking company, and they went bankrupt. Convoy also, I don't know if they went bankrupt, but they definitely had to shut down their operations. But wherever there's a disadvantage for a company, there's always going to be an advantage for another company. So ABF Freight took on most of Yellow's volume, right? And they increased, I think 60%. I think 60%, somewhere around there. They increased a lot, right? They increased a lot because one company's advantage was their disadvantage was their advantage. It's just the way it works. What's really going to happen is there's going to be a lot of brokerages that crumble, a lot of trucking companies that crumble, and it's going to just birth a new era in the trucking industry, right? That's just basically what's happening. So, anyways, that's just my thoughts. Why can't you charge 20%? Um, have you ever dispatched Amazon routes? No, I haven't dispatched Amazon routes. Most carriers that have Amazon Relay don't prefer having a dispatcher. Because it runs pretty seamless and it's easy and it's simple. Most owner operators that have Amazon Relay, they get their own freight, because it's pretty simple. Now, it doesn't mean you can't have a dispatcher that um uh or have a dispatcher or dispatch for somebody that has Amazon. But I had one owner operator that we were gonna try it out, but it's he does it's easy for him. He just gets on, finds the load, it's very simple, very quick. So he's like, he does it himself. Um, so why can't you charge 20%? It's just unrealistic. It's just unrealistic to charge 20%, especially in this market. How hard was it to land your first call? How long did it take? What tips would you give to make it easier? Good question. I'm gonna answer one more question after this, and then I'm gonna jump off. But I kind of had an advantage because I was doing consultation and I was helping people start trucking companies. So I kind of already, had connections, I guess. And so the first person I actually started dispatching for was somebody that I helped start their company. So you know, I was doing consultation, helping people start. So, outside of that though, the best marketing strategy that worked for me was email marketing. So I would run like at least like 1,200 emails a week, right? Like 1,200 emails a week. I would. And so one of the things we talked about on our pre-recorded course, there's a way which the company updated since then, but there's a way to extract files of trucking companies phone numbers and emails so that you can run email blasts and cold call if you want to cold call. But anyways, email marketing was key for me. It's what helped me. And to get my first lead after running email campaigns, it honestly probably my first campaign I had some leads. Second campaign, every campaign I ran, I had a few leads. The hard part, not really the hard part, but the more complicated part is signing them on because you'll get tons of leads, but you got to sign them on, right? They got to work with you, and that depends on what you offer. Sabrina says, with no carriers, I'm still working at Amazon. Can dispatching or trying to get carriers be done part time? It really depends. So if you're on the Eastern time zone, like New York time, 7 a.m. to about 10, 11 a.m. That's like the peak time, and then from like 11 to like 3, it's like slower, and then like 4 and up to like maybe 7, it picks back up. Brokers are getting them last minute loads. They're wanting to get out and stuff like that. So if you have free time, let's say anywhere from 7 a.m. to 11 ish a.m. Eastern Standard Time, then sure you could do part time, and you could dispatch. And then here's the thing too, like you might get on the load boards and build a relationship with multiple brokers where you're dealing with them primarily, and you don't really have to like rely on the load board. So it really just depends on your situation. It just depends when you can when you're able to access the load boards as well. So 7 to 11 is a good time frame, and then again, I'd say like anywhere from like 4 to 7 is another good time frame. So if you have free time during those times, then it should work out depending on what how your shifts are. All right, you're good to go, guys. I'm gonna say it one more time. We're doing a 25% off sale on our pre-recorded freight dispatch course and our carrier acquisition training. I'll put the link for all of those things in the description under this video. And other than that, I'm getting ready to get off of here, y'all. I enjoyed the time on here with you guys, sharing information and stuff. If you want to contact us, I'll put my email in the description also under this video. And then you can also follow us on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram name in here in the chat. There you go. Any questions in regards to training or anything like that, shoot us an email, reach out to us. We'll be able to help you out. I'm getting ready to jump off. Miss C says, is the starter effective in getting started until you're able to purchase other materials? Uh yeah, it is depending on what kind of learner you are. It's so the startup kit is an ebook that has 30 pages, and it breaks down everything step by step, but keep in mind it's all on an ebook. So if you're someone that's like, I need to see live demonstrations and stuff like that, then it won't help you as much as you might think it would. Um, the but it's still good. It's still good information. It's still good quality step by step information. So just depends. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna jump off here. Email us if you have any questions. Sabrina, I'm gonna go ahead and send that to you. 25% off is gonna expire tomorrow in the next 24 hours. Guys, have a good rest of your weekend.